What's up guys, it's Asian Power. Thank you so much for joining me for another video. In today's video we are diving into the personality and life of Octane, the adrenaline junkie. Like always, we are going to start off by jumping into his bio here on EA.com and learn a little bit more about his life and his past so we can dissect who he really is psychologically a little bit better. Alright, one day Octavio Silva was bored. In fact, most days he was bored. Heir to the preoccupied CEOs of Silva Pharmaceuticals, and wanting for nothing in life, he entertained himself by performing death-defying stunts and posting holovids of them for his fans to gawk over. So this day he decided to set the course record for a nearby gauntlet, the one that we got in Kings Canyon, by launching himself across the finish line using a grenade. As he lay hours later, the doctors informed him that the damage done to his legs that meant his daredevil days were over. That didn't sit too well with Octavio, who turned to an old friend for help. This friend is known as Aegis, also known as Lifeline. You know, that one legend who pulls out her little sucky thingy, gives a little heal? Yeah, that one. He guilted her into forging an order to replace his legs with bionic ones. Suddenly able to repair his limbs at a moment's notice, Octavio decided petty online stunts wasn't enough. The ultimate adrenaline rush, the Apex Games, was calling. Now he's going to become an Apex champion doing the most incredible, death-defying moves anyone's ever seen. Maybe in the arena, he won't be so bored. There is a lot of information there. All we can tell is that Octane gets really bored easily, he likes to run around, he likes to be moving, and he doesn't really care about his body, his health, or anything like that. When I first read his bio and knowing what we do know from Octane, my first initial thoughts was, hey, this kid sounds like he's ADHD, always wanting to move around, not being able to sit still. That sounded like a good place to start. But when I sat down and started thinking about how I really wanted this video to go, I thought, how about I talk about ADHD, the symptoms, and how it relates to Octane? But after doing more research, I believe that Octane is not completely diagnosable as ADHD. Meaning, he does not hit all the criteria to be clinically diagnosed as having this particular disorder. So I decided to dive deeper into what adrenaline junkies really is, and what characteristics they portray, and what it's like to be inside the brain of one of these junkies. And of course, dive into Octane himself. So let's talk about adrenaline junkies. Some of you might be them. I know that I used to be at one point in time. I loved it. But that's neither here nor there. So let's talk about this. When you think of these kind of junkies, what or who do you think of? Whoever it is, you can characterize them as having little to no fear of their own safety, and they seem a little bit reckless. Here's an interesting take on adrenaline junkies from an article by Justin Peck. Link in the description below. The term adrenaline junkie only tells part of the physiological story. High-risk experiences cause the body's adrenal glands to release adrenaline, resulting in an intense rush. Heart rate and blood pressure surge, and metabolism spikes. Facing extreme risk also causes the brain to flood with dopamine, producing a high that exceeds any kind of drug. For any of you who have experienced this knows that this is the real truth. That rush, that high, it's a real thing, and makes sense how somebody would want to feel that as much as they can. Most people, though, don't chase that feeling a lot because their natural feelings of fear tell them, hey, that thing you want to do, it's extremely dangerous, and these are what could go wrong, so don't do it. And for those adrenaline junkies, this is more of how their brain works and thinks. Their mind focuses more on the reward than the fear. Their mind is saying, this could be one of the coolest things you'll ever do. You want that rush and that high feeling. Just get over this moment of fear and you'll feel so good way longer after. These people are chasing that hormonal release. Wait, that sounds wrong. Maybe this will help explain it a little bit better. Highly motivated by the psychological rewards of adrenaline and dopamine, risk takers share many behavioral and personality characteristics with addicts and substance abusers. Just like substance abusers, in some cases, sufferers go looking for more intense experiences with high risk to achieve the same dopamine high. We actually see this in Octane's life just by reading that bio. In the first part of his backstory, he's doing petty stunts online for views, and he continues to find bigger and better thrills. Eventually, it leads him to having the idea to use a grenade to finish faster in a race, which we know blows off his legs. You know how reckless and careless that is? He had no care in the world about his own body that he was willing to do that to get that rush. Now he is searching for that ultimate dopamine high in the Apex games. Something that started off small now grew into something so big that Octane is here with the other legends now. There's a short video on EA website where it shows text message exchange between Octane and Lifeline, and you can learn a lot from those exchanges. And you learn basically that he doesn't care about sitting down working behind a desk for his father's company. He gets very bored and always wants to be moving around and doing something. One voice line that I want to kind of highlight in Octane's repertoire about what he says,
I do this for the rush. The fans are just a bonus.
All in all, while he was posting videos online about him doing these crazy death-defying stunts, really wasn't for fame or for fans or anything. He wanted that rush so much. And definitely that's what he's doing in the Apex games, because he wants that rush, that adrenaline rush, to be able to feel that high, that almost invincibility. I definitely know this because I've done some dumb things in my life where I jumped off cliffs, where I did flips. Like for me, I used to do a lot of parkour. Some people think that is insane and scary, but for me, it was just getting over that initial fear and just going for it, just flipping, hitting it so hard. And then whether I landed it or not, I knew I was going to get that rush, that like I was going to get so pumped up to do it again and again and again. And you see that all over the internet. There's a lot of adrenaline junkies out there. It's a real thing. If you guys know anybody, you definitely can see these characteristics, and they definitely manifest themselves in Octane as well. So I don't think he necessarily is ADHD. I think he's more of an adrenaline junkie, but those two can go hand in hand at times. I feel like they can coexist. They can feed off of each other. But at this time, I don't really see Octane being fully diagnosable as ADHD. If you guys agree, definitely let me know down in the comment section below. If you guys have any suggestions of who I should do next, definitely let me know as well. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you guys are brand new and want more content. I definitely appreciate all the support I've been getting recently. Thank you guys so much, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.